Ladies and gentlemen, this is Havoc, and I have some extremely exciting news. Ancient Empires is releasing tomorrow. For those that don't know, Ancient Empires is a complete overhaul mod for Total War Attila that brings the game into 202 BC, the time of the Second Punic War. The depth of this mod is immense, and in my eyes is comparable to the famous Divide and Impera mod, with a massively expanded building roster, huge economic overhauls, hundreds of traits that your faction members can acquire, not to mention truly epic battles. This is not a drill, and this is no botched scheme to keep you guys hanging on to hope. This is real. So let's take a look at the factions you can play as. Looking to the east, we start with Nabasia, a faction rising out of Enum in Arabia that'll face some big challenges as it tries to expand outward, surrounded by Egypt and the Seleucids. Their frontier kingdoms and desert mechanics traits will bring about big boosts to your economy as well as increased campaign movement range. It's been 120 years since the death of Alexander the Great, and the Hellenic empires remain just as divided. Egypt, ruled by the Ptolemies, has a strong presence in Africa, with cities both in the east as well as a foothold in Asia Minor. The Diadochi and Ptolemaic overlords traits will boost your tech progress, push the Hellenic culture, and increase diplomatic relations. Their Seleucid brethren, led by Antiochus III the Great, controls most of the lands of ancient Persia, commanding some satrapies as well. This economic powerhouse will ensure their presence is always known as they look to consolidate more territory in the east. Sharing the Diadochi trait looks to stabilize their empire with increased diplo relations, higher recruitment slots, and boost to public order in all provinces. Closer to home, the kingdom of Pergamon sits alone, independent of the larger empires in the east. Their impregnable fortress gave them their freedom in the secession struggle, hiding the spoils of war, funding their tiny kingdom. With the pinnacle of Hellenism trait, look to the west to establish relations with Rome, while enjoying reduced construction costs and public order boosts. Let's not forget the homeland itself, Macedon. Led by Philip V, Macedon will face the expanding empire that is Rome, and will have to deal with increased pressure from all of its neighbors to try and rise again as in the days of Alexander. Their great conqueror's trait feeds their war machine, with experience, upkeep cost reduction, and loyalty from subject characters. Looking to the furthest reaches in the east, the Arsacid dynasty, remnants of the Parthian Empire. They remain subject to the Seleucids, and will stay that way unless you choose to do something about it. Their Eastern dynasty's traits encourages you to become independent and form your own subjects, while not having to worry so much about public order issues from different cultures. The Equestrian kings lends to a cavalry-heavy military, while suffering increased public disorder from slaves. Into the northern parts of Asia Minor, the kingdom of Pontus remains in control of its own destiny. This small kingdom must prove its courage and worth if it's to survive the many factions vying for control in the area. It shares the Eastern dynasty's traits of the Parthians, and its Pontic pride supplements their rosters with mercenaries and encourages stealing from the more wealthier neighbors. Lastly, we come to the big players of the Second Punic War. Carthage, once the dominant force in the Mediterranean, is now in decline, but its leader, the great Hannibal Barca, looks to turn the tide against their Roman enemies. Their imperial ambition brings in more taxes and pushes the state culture in each province, while their maritime legacy brings more income from commerce and reduced upkeep for both mercenaries, Hannibal's answer to fight Rome, and naval units. And finally, Rome. Rome has the upper hand in 202 BC, having just taken the Iberian territories from Carthage, a mineral-rich source of income. Rome shares Carthage's ambition to expand their empire, while Rome's SPQR faction trait boasts powerful bread and circus edicts, loyalty boosts, and sanitation boosts to their whole empire. That's all the factions that will be playable on release. More will be added in at later dates once the mod is in full swing for the public. Ladies and gents, this mod is absolutely amazing. I'm beyond thrilled that it's finally releasing after several delays and bumps in the road, and I know you will enjoy it as well. I'll be looking to take on some more informational videos with this mod, much as I have before, so be on the lookout for those in the future. Subscribe and turn on notifications, that way you can be notified when all videos go up. Thank you for watching, enjoy the mod when it comes out, and I'll see you in the next video.